contact point for ERC for Malta. And I would like to welcome you to that to today's ERC webinar. I work at Xjenza Malta. Xjenza Malta is hosting all the national contact points for Horizon Europe. And today we have a guest speaker from ERSER, from the European Research Executive Agency. So today with us we have Nicolette Selei, who is scientific officer, and will present the main ERC grants and also tell us about the novelties that there for 2026 and 2027. Then I will also introduce you to the support schemes that we have in place at Xjenza Malta, and will help you to strengthen your application, your ERC application. And yes, today's event is about you, the researchers in Malta that are interested to apply for ERC or would like just to learn more about ERC and see if that's the right grants for them. Today's session is recorded, okay? So you will receive the recording and the presentations as well. And the recording will be also available on our YouTube channel, Horizon Malta. So without further ado, I would like to invite Nicolette Selei to share her screen and proceed with her presentation. Just to add that if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box and we'll address them after the presentation. Thank you. So Nicolette, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you for this introduction, and I'm very happy to be here with you today and also hearing from you, the Maltese researchers. Does everyone see my screen well now? Is that okay?
We see it perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. So today I'm going to introduce the ERC to you. It's going to be a general introduction to the different schemes that exist within the ERC. And so for some of you, this may not be new information, whereas for others, it is relevant new information. And also keep in mind that for every work program, there can be changes in the program. So even those of you who may be very knowledgeable about the ERC could hear new information today. So what is the ERC grant? So just to sketch you a little landscape where ERC is located within the Research Innovation Program of Europe, we are a part of Horizon Europe. So a lot of you may know this overall framework of Horizon Europe, and the ERC is one part of this. This being said, we are also unique because we have some specific features that do not entirely apply to the other branches of the Horizon Europe family. So this is just for you to know that if you come across many different schemes, different funding schemes, they may all be under Horizon Europe, but they still have their own specific criteria and specific focus. So this is why it's important to really understand what the ERC is about. And the ERC is unique in some features. One of it is that it has a scientific governance model. It means that it has an independent scientific council, which has 22 members, which includes the ERC president, and it has full authority over developing the strategy of the ERC work programs. So another key feature then of the ERC that it is putting scientific excellence as the sole criterion within the applications. We are supporting, or most of our main schemes, we are supporting mainly individual applications. So it is different from other Horizon programs where you may see consortium-based applications. We do not have predetermined subjects for researchers to work on, which is also a kind of top-down logic in other Horizon projects. But for the ERC, it is bottom-up. So the researchers can come up with any ideas from any scientific field of study. So we do not predetermine the subject of preference or priority. But we do support frontier research in all fields of science, including social sciences and humanities. And the evaluation is based on international peer review, which is also done by people who are within these fields of studies. Just some figures on how the ERC can make an impact or has already made an impact. You can see a large variety of nationalities within the grant holders. You can also see how many that we have supported over 14,000 researchers since the creation of the ERC grant. It is contributing to employing researchers and other professionals. It has contributed to even startups. Lots of scientific articles and achievements going through as outcomes of ERC projects. And this includes also acknowledgements within the scientific community, such as Nobel Prizes or other awards that are relevant to the scientific community. So we have seen over the years that the ERC can play a relevant and in some lives really significant role in pushing through the frontiers of science and supporting also individual researchers in their career progress. As I said, the ERC has a scientific council, and these are the members that you can see on the screen. So there is the ERC president, Maria Leptin, and then we have 3 vice presidents for our 3 domains, which are the social sciences and humanities, the physical sciences and engineering, as well as the life sciences. And then the executive agency is supporting the implementation of the work program. It oversees the evaluation process. It also administers scientific and financial aspects and communicates about the ERC. So then getting more concrete now from the more overall structure of the ERC, in really basic terms, as I said, the ERC covers all scientific fields from the 3 domains of life sciences, physical sciences and engineering, social sciences and humanities. We do have a focus on excellence, which in our terms mean kind of groundbreaking scientific ideas, pioneering projects that can come from any field of study. And it is supporting individual researchers from all around the world. If you ask why is this scheme can be more adequate to you than to others, maybe, it does offer independence to researchers, the recognition and the visibility to work on your own topic of preference, your own choice. You can propose to pursue your very own groundbreaking idea. With the support of the grant, researchers can gain financial autonomy for 5 years. You can, with this grant, you can also negotiate your conditions at the host institution where you are placed. You can attract research team members within your team from anywhere around the world. You can also move this grant if it's necessary to any place in Europe. So this all could happen with the help of this additional funding. And then here are all our research schemes. As you see, we have 6, but today I will talk about the main ones, which is the starting grants, consolidator, advanced grants, and then also somewhat about the ERC Plus grant. I will talk less about the proof of concept and synergy grants, but do keep in mind that there are also these 2 channels, and you can go on our website and you can learn about these funding schemes there. So what are they? The starting grants are the ones which are for researchers who are starting or have recently started their independent research team or research line. Consolidators are the ones, as in a name, who are consolidating, and advanced grants are for researchers who are established in their fields. I will talk first about these three, and then at the end of the presentation, I will move on also to the ERC Plus grant. You can see the details on the slide for budgets. And I will also put with a little asterisk the eligibility windows for starting and consolidator grant. So you'll see that from the starting grant is for researchers who within they are from 0 to 10 years after their PhDs, with 1st January being the cutoff point, and consolidator is 5 to 15. Now, this is information that has recently been changing, and this is depending adoption of the 2027 work program. Then I will go on further, and at the end, as I said, I will also talk about the Plus grant. So at the ERC, like I said, excellence is the sole evaluation criteria. What does that mean more specifically? There is two aspects of evaluation. One is the excellence of the research projects, which means really the groundbreaking nature of the idea and the ambition. And also the excellence of the principal investigator, which for us means the intellectual capacity and creativity to carry out this proposed project. The evaluation process within the main grant, so starting, consolidator, and advanced grant, is one single submission. So the applicants, when you apply for a project, you submit all the relevant documentation at that one single application time. But the evaluation of all these application files is organized in two steps. The first step, where applicants out of the documents, the part one, which is a sort of extended synopsis, is evaluated along with the PI's CV and track record. We have here the panel members in each panel. I will talk about the panels in the next slide, don't worry. So there are panels who are evaluating the proposals, and they look at these proposals and they discuss them during a panel meeting, and then they decide which proposals can be retained from the second step and which proposals will not be retained. Those who are not retained can receive a B or C score, and feedback is given at this stage to the applicant. The B and the C scores also apply depending on which work program you are, that there may be restrictions in how you apply in the whether you can apply or in under which conditions in the next rounds of the grants. And for those who are retained, they are receiving an A score, and you can receive so applicants who go to step 2 receive an A score, but those who are not ranked within, they receive an A non-invited score. And then at step 2 is the time when the panels are evaluating the complete research proposal. So it means a longer version where it is more described. I will also have a slide about this more specifically. And they interview the candidates, and based on all that information, they are making their final decisions. And so here, proposals not funded will receive a B score, and the funded ones receive an A score within available budget, or A non-funded outside the available budget. And all applicants, again, receive feedback from the panel. what is this panel and what is panel members? As I said, the evaluation is happening within a panel. So here you can see all the panels of the 3 domains. It is your decision which panel you are applying to. So you should think about what is your research idea, what is your field, or what are the multiple fields that you are addressing with your proposal. And you can indicate on your application a proposal, a panel, but you can also indicate a secondary panel. To identify which is the best panel for you, we advise that you read the panel descriptor. So every panel comes with a set of descriptors. And so you can make decisions based on that, which panel would be the best for you to be evaluated in. So there are, yes, I can do this slide right now. So of course, there can be a lot of interpretations of the rules and so on. But it is important to remember that the panel descriptors are not necessarily any kind of priorities. So as I said, all scientific domains are covered within the ERC, and you can come with any kind of idea. We don't have top-down priorities. The publication record is not decisive in selective decisions, and the host institution is also not an evaluation criteria. You must have at the application a letter of support from your host institution, but the host institution in itself is not a criterion of evaluation. The budget is distributed among the scientific panels as a function of demand. And the success rate is also not linked to academic age. So anyone from anywhere in the world can apply to the ERC. The grantees can keep affiliation with a home institution also outside Europe, but they have to have at least 50% of their time, of their work time in Europe. You can hire team members who are based outside of Europe, and grantees can move within Europe with the grant. Now, there has been some changes in 2026, which I will go through. One of the change is that additional funding up to 2 million for researchers currently based outside Europe applying for starting consolidator or advanced grant can be awarded. And on top of the standard grants, the ERC has also offered this additional funding for major costs, which is remain the same like it was before. And the ERC will also launch the ERC Plus funding to support outstanding principal investigators to address major scientific challenges, which wouldn't be able to be solved with a regular ERC grant. Now, the approach for the evaluation in 2026 slightly changed from the previous years. So, as I said, there is 2 parts of the evaluation process. And in the part 1, which is assessed in the first step of the evaluation process, the ambition of the idea in how they advance present-day knowledge will be assessed, whereas feasibility of the scientific approach will be assessed at step 2. So feasibility is not anymore a criteria at step 1. So things like proposed timescales, resources, they will be assessed at step 2. Yes, another change is that for additional funding, there will be one general category instead of the predefined subcategories like it was before. And for synergy, I will not talk about today. So what does it mean for structuring your documents? At step 1, which is a shorter document up to 5 pages, researchers should describe their overall idea of the proposed research project. So here you should think about the current state of the art, the scientific question and the objectives, and the overall approach and overall research strategy. And clearly the idea should be, is this a great idea that's worth pursuing? The second, so step 2, which is a longer document up to 7 pages, is the place where researchers should describe the implementation in detail. So this makes things like the research methodology, a detailed explanation of the research implementation, work plan, risk assessment, mitigation measures, and so on. That would go into this longer 7-page document. And the panels will use part 1 when they assess step 1, and both parts will be used when they assess at step 2. Now, in 2027, there has been some changes. These all, I must say, that are subject to the adoption of the work program 2027. So this is preliminary information subject to the adoption of the work program. So I advise everyone to keep checking our website and eventually look at the work program 2027 when that will be adopted and released. But for now, what we can say is that researchers will be eligible to apply for a starting grant, as I said, within a 10-year period after their PhD, with the cutting timeline being 1st January. The consolidator grants would be 5 to 15 years. And the starting grant and the consolidator grant are becoming a one in a career kind of grant. So if you were awarded once, once you can be awarded once a starting grant and once a consolidator grant. This, of course, keep in mind that there are rules for extension of eligibility that were already at place and they still remain at place. So, for example, you can ask for extension of the eligibility regarding maternity leave, paternity or parental leave, long-term illness, if you have done clinical training, if you have experienced a major disaster, if you have sought asylum or were subject to gender-based violence or other forms of violence. So these are conditions where anyone can apply for an extension of the eligibility window. Just one more note on the PhD eligibility. This always, because there are different countries and it's calculated differently in different countries. So for the ERC, what counts is the actual defense date of the PhD. And many times on the PhD documents, this is the date which is included. But in some countries, there is a discrepancy between the defense date and when the PhD is awarded as a document. So in those cases, we ask for a written confirmation from the awarding institution of the defense date. And then we also have the ERC Plus this year, where the objective is to support outstanding principal investigators to address major scientific challenges that cannot be solved with a regular ERC grant. So this means that you have to justify in these applications what is it that cannot be solved about your project that is not fitting into a regular ERC grant. It will be only 30 grants for 2026, but the main features remain very similar. So excellence only, open to researchers of all fields and nationalities, also for any career stage. The duration can be from 4 to 7 years. It can go up to 7 million, and it is also a once in a career type of grant. The evaluation will also happen in 2 steps, but it's a little bit different from the main grants. As in a main grant, the applicants select one of the 28 panels. The scores at step 1 could be retained or not retained, and all applications considered outstanding can advance to step 2, so there is no cap on the numbers here. And then at step 2, again, we have by the panels, the applications and the panel meetings. And this is where all the documents again are assessed just as before. Here is the call calendar for 2025-2026. Of course, you see here that some of the deadlines here are already gone. But of course, we still have Advanced Grant 2026 in August as a deadline coming up, and then the ERC Plus in September. And where can you find more information about the ERC? We have lots of very useful information on our website, including very nice videos that you can browse through on things like how do you get started with the proposal, how do you write one, what is our evaluation procedure, and so on. You can browse all this through and you can get more information about the ERC. I also very much recommend that you read the work program. I know it's a very long and sometimes administrative kind of document, but it does have a lot of very important information for you to consider. Yeah, and lots of other documents on our website. So have a good look on the website. And also you find us on basically all important social media channels. So feel free to follow us and get in touch as well. We are on, everywhere, LinkedIn, Insta, YouTube, I think. So feel free to follow us and get in touch in case you'd like to do that. So I think that's from our side. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Nicolette. Thank you for presenting the ERC grants and the novelties that there for 2026 and 2027. I do not see any questions in the chat for the time being, but if any of the participants have any questions, you can also raise your hand or at that point or put them in the chat. In the meantime, I just wanted to also say that for the new deadlines, they will be, of course, available once the new work program is approved. However, these are annual calls, and so we are expecting the starting grant to be in October, consolidator in January, and so on. I mean, they usually repeat the month of the year for those of you that are preparing to apply anytime soon and you did not see the date in the presentation. So do not worry, there will be calls. We just need to wait they to be published and with official dates. Okay, so as expected, in the chat,
Yes.
there is a question about to tell
Yes.
a little bit about the new regulations. I think what they mean is about the resubmissions,
Mm-hmm.
the new 2-year wait for the score
Yeah,
B and all this that was published a few days ago on the
recently. Yeah.
ERC website. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So those of you who are a bit more familiar already with the ERC, of course, you could have spotted that there was a press release and an open letter from Maria Laptin on Friday about some of the changes that we expect in 2027. So some of the things concern the things I've already told you today. So there have been changes introduced in terms of the kind of the structure. So the two-step process that was always two-step, but like in terms of the content, what it goes in at step 1 and step 2. There has also been changes proposed for the eligibility windows, which I also told you about. And then the third question, which I guess is maybe the person who asked is more interested in. Like I said, in step 2, applicants may receive an A score, a B score, and a C score. And the B and the C score have or may have some consequences on how they can reapply in the upcoming editions of the work program. Now, what has been released on Friday in terms of the 2027, and again, depending on adoption of the work program, is that indeed the resubmission is a bit more strict at this time. Before, you could see that there was, for example, if you got a B, then you would need to skip, let's put it this way, you would skip 1 year and C for 2 years. Now what we see for 2027, so if you got a C score, for example, in step 1, in 2024, 25, or 26, or you got a B score in 25 or 26, then you would not be eligible to apply in 27. And this also includes the ERC Plus and the Synergy. Yeah, so I think this is probably the main change that the person is asking about. This decision has been made in the context that we would like the ERC would like to, first of all, still uphold the quality of the review process, which is currently pressured by increasing number of applications, but also we would like to encourage applicants to reflect on sufficiently maturity of their research ideas. So okay. I hope, yeah.
Yes, I don't know the name of the person that asked this question, but I hope this was sufficient. It's also important to note that this is not yet fully official. So it will be only official once the work program is approved, which is due in summer, right, Nicolette?
Yes, sometime in the summer, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. There is another question. Is there a synergy synergy grand call every year?
So for synergy, I have not included much about synergy this time. But well, to be honest, I'm not working on synergy. So
I can reply to
if
that.
you can, yes.
Yes. Usually it's every year. However, now again, this is not yet confirmed. But because usually the Synergy Grand Call is in November, now it is proposed that it will be in May, but not May this month. It will be May 2027. So this is yet to be confirmed once again, but most likely it will be moved as such.
All right.
And then there is another question. For those who did not make it to step 1 in the starting grant, can you still apply for the synergy?
So according to what is proposed for 2027, if you did not make either score C or score B in step 1 in either of the grants, then you will not be eligible, which includes ERC Plus and Synergy.
So yes, it's unfortunate, but it applies to all the main grants. So another question came in. My project is highly interdisciplinary and I struggle to find an exact panel match within the advanced grant structure. Is it a sound strategy to apply for the ERC Plus primarily because of its interdisciplinary assessment environment rather than for the budget or duration?
So from our perspective, interdisciplinarity is welcome within also the regular ERC main grants, so starting and advanced and consolidator. And like I said, if you feel that your proposal is somewhere between 2 panels even, you can always indicate also a secondary panel when you apply, so a primary one and a secondary panel. We, in fact, do encourage pioneering projects which are multi or interdisciplinary or who look at the establishment of new fields that are somehow emerging within several or establishing a new one. For us, the criteria for our ERC Plus is that it would not be possible to be carried out as a regular main one. Now you can find arguments, I guess, but just to say that the other one is better for the interdisciplinary may be less our logic.
Okay. Also for the potential applicants, there is quite a lot of recordings available online, so you can find more information about even the ERC Plus grant there, since it's something new, a new call that is going to be just for the first time. There will be many questions about it. I advise you to check everything that is available online and follow the webinars and recordings that you might find. I don't see any more questions in the chat now. There is another question. If I fit in both starting and consolidator, which is advantageous considering the evaluation criteria? Consider that I only need 1.5 million and also my number of publications are not high.
Okay, so if I understand well, you would, I guess, you refer to the eligibility window that you would be able to fit to starting and consolidator, which is advantageous. Are you asking which one is more advantageous? Is that the question?
I think he's asking which one is better to apply, starting on consolidator, since he's in both, fitting in both, since
Yeah.
there is overlap.
Okay. Yeah. So of course I cannot tell you the answer on that. It's very much based on where you stand with your research career and with your research proposal and where you stand with your whole vision and all that. So I cannot tell you which one is the best. Every case is different from one another. But I maybe would comment on the fact that you say that your number of publications are not high enough. So I would like to say that this is not a solely defining criterion on deciding whether you fall within starting and consolidator. So the difference between starting and consolidator is that for starting, applicants should have an evidence of the potential of becoming independent, having an independent research team or a research line, or that they recently started their independent research line or research team. Whereas for consolidator, you should have already some evidence of having a research team or a research line, but not yet consolidated. So that is the kind of approach how you should think about where to place yourself within the two.
And one more question. Should only exceptional figures in academia with high H-index scores apply to the advanced grant?
So for advanced grants, again, the criteria is that you should be already an established researcher. Now, what does that mean? It can be so many different things across the different disciplines. Also, countries have very different ways of who they consider an established researcher and so on. So for us, the kind of H-index or the impact factor of the journals is not important, whereas your establishment is more important in this case. So it's definitely not only open to exceptional figures in academia. So.
Thank you, Nicolette. Again, I don't see more questions. And I do not see any raised hands. So perhaps we can proceed with the second part of this session and I can present you the support schemes that we have in place at Xjenza Malta. And in the meantime, nevertheless, you can still continue putting questions even related to the first part of today's session. So thank you, Nicolette, for answering all the questions. Let me share my screen. Okay, can somebody confirm that you see my slides? Okay, thank
Yes.
you. So, what are the support schemes that are suitable for potential ERC applicants to benefit? These are the support schemes we have at Xjenza Malta using national budget. So every year we receive a national budget from the government of Malta uh, to help Horizon Europe applicants to advance in their proposals. So the schemes that we have 5 schemes in place. However, those that are relevant for ERC are 2, and I have few slides to present them. One of them is the ERC support scheme, specifically dedicated to ERC, and the other one is High Pass, which also could be used for ERC applicants. So what is the ERC support scheme? So this is specifically targeted only for those that are planning to apply and will apply, because then even the actual funding relates to it. We have a mentoring initiative and we have the proposal writing training. So this support scheme is split in 2 parts, option A and option B. The mentoring initiative is basically we have a list of mentors who are provided to us from the executive agency, ERC executive agency, and those are either ERC grantees, so already successful applicants, or else previous panel members, so the previous evaluators. So how they can help you is up to you. How would you like to use the mentoring services? But you can discuss the actual proposal idea. You can visit them at their labs as well. You can ask them to review your proposal, to give you more ideas, to give you hints on the structure, and so on. So typically this service is being used online, where you will meet on one-to-one meetings online or through emails and so on. But it also can be used for you to go to visit the actual researcher and visit the lab. We provide up to 5,000 euros. That's inclusive of VAT, I must say. And it is to cover fees and irrelevant fees for the mentor and also the travel as such. Then the option B is proposal writing training, which is up to 2,000 euros, which you can use to attend specific ERC trainings. So this could be online or could be on site. Once again, and can be anywhere in the world. Okay, so we don't have a limit about these service providers, these training providers as such. The call is currently open and is going to be open until 25th September. So we have one cutoff in between. It's on the 15th May, basically in line with the upcoming call calendar. And here we have the link, which is basically the application form and further information about the support scheme, which you can find on Xjenza Malta website. Just in addition to option A and option B, in case you are successful and you are invited to the step 2 interview, then in that case you can receive another up to 3,000 euros to prepare for the interview. And it's a very short application form. We have external evaluators that will check it. First, of course, the administrative check to see that you're eligible to apply for ERC, and then the external evaluators. It's a fast process because we do not have grant agreement here. So after the 15 May, we collect now the applications until 15 May. Then we'll check them administratively and send to the external evaluators shortly after. Once you are selected for the support, then you can start working. I then help identifying the mentor. I connect you with the mentor, and so on. And then we provide before that, instead of the grant agreement, a letter of intent, which we explain also the reimbursement rules. This support scheme is based on reimbursement, so we do not provide any money in advance, but we can reimburse you up to 100% once you submit the final report. You submit the actual ERC application to the funding and tenders portal, and provide us with the with the supporting documents such as, for example, invoice and receipt. If you attended training, let's say if you have travel, the invoices, and so on. So you can find all these rules on the Xjenza Malta website. So the second suitable support scheme that we have is the High Pass. So High Pass is basically not only for ERC, but is suitable for all those representatives of Maltese organizations. Even the ERC support scheme, I would like to highlight that is for those that have ERC host organization in Malta. Okay, so it has to be, it's not possible that you apply from abroad without having the host organization in Malta. So that's very important. And for High Pass, is the same thing. You need to represent a Maltese legal entity, and it is also suitable for the rest of Horizon Europe calls where you are coordinator. For ERC, you are considered coordinator since this is a mono-beneficiary call as such. And there are three cutoffs. One has just recently closed. Next one is 19 June. And then the final one is 13 November. And what it provides you? It provides you with the opportunity to hire a service provider who is a proposal writer or a graphic designer to help you improve your proposal. Here, what is the difference is that with the mentoring scheme is that these are not usually specialists in your area. They're not scientists. While in the ERC support schemes, the mentors are actually scientists, which can help you with your application. Here we are looking more for, it's more about consultancies, proposal writers, those that are specialized in actually not the actual idea of the proposal, but more about how to structure the actual application form. We provide again up to 8,000 euros inclusive of VAT based on reimbursement, and out of this included in this 8,000, 1,000 can be used for a graphic designer to make the application a bit more visually attractive. We have an exception that's related to MSCA, not ERC, but it's up to 2,500 for it. So for ERC, you can use the full budget of 8,000 euros. And here we have a grant agreement following the external evaluation. And you have 1 year to submit the actual application. So it's also the case for the ERC support scheme, and also here for High Pass. After you actually apply for the support scheme and after you got the approval to proceed, you have 1 year to actually implement the activities and submit the actual proposal. And of course, we also do review your proposals. So apart from the High Pass and the ERC support scheme, it's also us as a national contact points that can review your proposal. In terms of other applications, here is not the case that you do not need to have a consortium, but for other occasions, we also can help you find partners abroad. We do organize dedicated trainings, partner searches we can help you with, and so on. But for you here, in terms of ERC, the most important thing of our service is that, of course, we can reply to any queries that you might have to see you if you're eligible, and so on, but also review your proposal. That was my very short presentation. One thing that I wanted to mention is that we have our social media accounts. So please follow us on our Facebook, LinkedIn, and we also have a YouTube channel. You can just find us by searching Horizon Malta, Horizon Europe Malta, and you can see a lot of recordings, events that we publish, and so on. One event that I want to also mention to you at that point is that although it's a bit early, perhaps you can already save the date. On the 29th and 30th October, this year we are going to have our R&I days, and in the R&I days, the second day will be dedicated to MSCA and ERC, and we will have the ERC president, Professor Maria Leptin, joining us for this event. So it will be nice if you can already save the date in your calendars and join us. Now, I would like to ask if there is any questions at that point. Something maybe related to the previous presentation for ERC or something, some questions regarding our support schemes. So either you can raise your hand or put it in the chat. And in the meantime, I already see that Sandra had opened the feedback form. So before you leave, we will appreciate if you can just leave your feedback for so that we can improve in the future. Any questions?
I would maybe just add
Mhm.
one thing, if possible. So as I said, our website is a great source of information, and that's also the website where you can see those who are a bit more experienced and are currently are seeking more information about resubmission. And so that's the website where you can find the full information also regarding Synergy and all sorts of schemes there. But regardless, I would like to say I really would like to bring the message through that ERC is a funding scheme that supports great scientific ideas that can come from you. So if you have a great idea, then please consider it. Please this we would like researchers to come with their great ideas. So yeah.
Yes, ERC website is very, very, very good source, definitely. You can also search there for funded projects, which is actually quite useful for those of you that intend to apply. You can see what type of projects are being funded. You can see if your idea is already funded. So yeah, definitely. And all, of course, the recordings and all the source of information there is very, very helpful. So those of you that are planning to apply for ERC, please contact me. We can have a one-to-one meeting and discuss further. But before that, please do go on the website and check if this is the right type of call for you, in fact. If there are no more questions, I think we Oh, there is a question now, I think.
Yes, I see the question. The question is, what is the core difference between an advanced grant and a plus grant? Yes. So again, the current framing of the advanced and the ERC plus is with the ERC plus, you should think about projects that cannot be carried out within a main grant. And that's something that it can look many different ways based on what is your discipline, what is the state of the art in what you are currently, where you're currently located in terms of the scientific knowledge. So it really has to address major scientific questions, really push the frontiers. But again, in a way that it is cannot be carried out with a regular one. Okay, then we have another one. I'm just reading it.
It's
I
something
think
about
it's
the
for
support
you,
scheme.
right?
Yeah.
Or with
I would like to kindly ask for clarification regarding the ERC support scheme, specifically option B, proposal writing training. Would it be acceptable to include a professional proposal writing program that consists of 1 day review service along with a 90-minute feedback session? The program is designed to provide structured feedback and guidance to improve the quality and competitiveness of the ERC proposal. Perhaps I would ask you to send me the link so that I can better see what is it, because to be honest, it sounds very, very much suitable for high pass at first glance, because it's not a training as such, but proposal read, proofread. But there is a 90-minute feedback session, so it also sounds like a training. So if you can please send me the link. Um, it will be better so that I can have a look and reply correctly to that. Okay, no more questions, I think, or at least I don't see any, but I think this, and I hope that this webinar was useful for all the participants. And thank you so much, Nicolette. Very, very helpful. Very much appreciated that you agreed to present the ERC grants for our webinar. It's always interesting to have a speaker from ERSEA or from the Commission as a guest. So thank you so much, and I wish good luck to all the potential applicants. And please do reach to me so that we can see how to assist you further. Thank you and have a good
Thank
afternoon.
you.